What's going on, guys? RGT85 here, and finally the day has come. Yes, I am doing the game room tour. As you may or may not know, I moved into a new place back in early September, so I've been setting up this game room, getting it to how I wanted it to look, and I think it's good enough right now. It's definitely not done. I've got new stuff coming in all the time. I've got new shelves coming in, a whole bunch of stuff, but 2016 is coming to an end, and I wanted to do this before the end of the year, so now's the time. So this is the 2016 game room tour. Now, I suggest you check out last year's game room tour of my old place so you can kind of see how everything's grown, how everything's changed, but without any further ado, let's get into this video and check out my game room. Alright, so when you first enter the room, you see a couple different things here. These are games that I've bought that I have not had a chance to classify and put on the shelves, because honestly all 4 bookshelves are completely filled to the brim right now. So I've got some new shelves coming in, but these are the games that I buy that I just kind of keep them here so I know where they are and I know that they need to be categorized and alphabetized and all that. And of course we have the mini fridge here, which allows me to keep my drinks cold and not have to run back and forth to the kitchen because that's on the other side of the house. We also have the sombrero, which we use for pickups. I know I haven't done the sombrero lately, but it's coming back. And of course we have the Harambe section. Dick's out for Harambe, you know, RIP buddy, we all miss you. And yeah, so this is the little intro, the little beginning portion of the game room. That's pretty important because you gotta have them cold drinks, baby. All right, so next up we have the little library section here. I bought a lot of Nintendo Powers and I keep them here. You know, we've got some other things. Mario Party piece together thing, or Mario and Luigi Paper Jam, excuse me. Got a little Super Mario Brothers 3 party book, happy birthday book, I don't know, I'm weird. And then we have some books down here. We have 8-Bit Christmas, which is a fantastic read, really funny book. The Resident Evil Archives. This is something super cool. I love this book. I love the original Resident Evil stuff. So that's super cool to have. I got a couple hardcovers here. The 100 Greatest Console Games of All Time, 77 to 87. Very cool book by Brett Weiss. And of course, the complete SNES. Now, I am actually in this book along with guys like Riggs, Wood, Scott Squatch, D-Dave. So this is an awesome book. I'm going to be doing a full review on this before the end of the year, but awesome book. Super stoked to be a part of it. We also have the Guinness World Records Gamers Edition. And I don't have many strategy guides. I unfortunately threw away a lot of them, but this one to me is super cool. Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. One of my favorite Castlevanias, if not my favorite Castlevania, as far as the Metroidvania style. It has, you know, detailed character information, maps, all sorts of cool stuff, but the coolest thing is there were so many secrets in that game. You flip it upside down, and it tells you all of the secret stuff in the upside down portion. Like, it's just genius. I actually thought I lost this, and I found it when I moved, and I was so stoked. So awesome little book here. And yeah, you know, I definitely have to beef up the library section, but it's cool for now. Now, I haven't had a perfect solution yet to how to set up my systems. So here are a lot of my systems. We've got boxes, we've got crates from work. We've got some Tupperware stuff down here that I'll show you guys with just cords and controllers and all sorts of nonsense. Definitely a portion of the game room that needs to be figured out. I'll probably get some cheesy IKEA thing eventually, but yeah, definitely a portion that needs to be figured out for the game room. The game room is also kind of the movie room. As you can see, Bushwhacked, Daniel Stern, one of my favorite movies ever. It's a stupid movie, but whatever, it's good. All right, so the first bookshelf is actually all dedicated to the NES. It's the biggest portion of my collection. Up top, you can see I got the AVS box here, a really cool punch-out printout. The Retro Entertainment System box, I have one of those. And something very cool, the NECA 8-bit Batman figure. I love it. It's got the stuff from the game right there, the purple figure. Super cool. I'm super stoked I have this. Definitely one of my favorite collectibles. Now, it's time to go through the games, baby, and we're gonna go through most of these. All right, so see, these are some of the NES games. They're all alphabetized. 1943, super awesome game. Adventure Island. Just kind of highlight the ones I really like. Archon, very cool game, very underappreciated. You have the Batman trilogy, Batman Returns, and Batman Return of the Joker. Battletoads, you got Blades of Steel, Blaster Master, Bomberman. The Castlevania trilogy is also seen here with Castlevania 1, 2, and 3. Very cool games. I do love those games. And of course, you got Contra there. Gotta have Contra. Everyone needs to own Contra. The next row, we got some cool stuff. Darkwing Duck, definitely getting up there in price. I just added that pretty recently. Crystallis, Donkey Kong Classics, I love that game. The Double Dragon trilogy. I'm big on trilogies on the NES, so I really like having all the trilogies. You've got DuckTales, Final Fantasy, Friday the 13th, Guardian Legend, awesome game. A really good port of Gradius too. I think this is pretty underappreciated port of Gradius. So if you have an NES and you don't have that, you definitely should pick that up. All right, continuing on with the next row, a couple cool games. Kirby's Adventure, that's a mandatory game. Jurassic Park, I really like Jurassic Park. I think it uses really good visuals. Mega Man 2 and Mega Man 3. Gotta have some Mega Man games. I definitely need to get the whole collection though. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, that's the best Punch-Out. Nightshade, awesome game. You guys know I love Nightshade. The Ninja Gaiden trilogy, essential Ninja Gaiden games. And I guess that's about it for the games I really like in this portion. All right, next we got stuff like The Punisher. We've got Rampage. We've got RoboCop, Rygar. You know, basic stuff here. Solomon's Key, Snake Rattle and Roll, Star Tropics, both of those. Super C, the Mario Brothers trilogy, of course. You know, essential stuff. A lot of people ask me if I ever will have a complete NES set. I highly doubt it. I would love to have one, but you know, so pricey. But I am happy with the collection as of now, and I'm always adding stuff. So yeah, the NES collection is pretty solid in my opinion. And we got one more row to go. All right, so like I said, we got one more row here. We've got the Turtles trilogy, that's essential. Tiny Toons, you know, basic games, of course, Zelda 1 and 2. So yeah, these are the NES games. And of course, I do have one game, Kid Dracula, on the Famicom. I'll probably get into Famicom collecting a little bit more in the future. But yeah, so this is the NES section, definitely a very important section. And now we're gonna move on to Super Nintendo and other Nintendo systems. So as we move along, you see I got some movie posters. There's also a poster up there of Street Fighter 2. You've got Batman, Mask of the Phantasm, Beetlejuice, and Back to the Future, three very important movies, I feel. So we have the futon here, very important part of the room. If I get tired, I can just sleep in here, but I usually just use it just to play video games on. But yeah, the futon, you know, totally essential. So before we get into the games, kind of got to look at the stuff on the top shelf. A Virtual Boy, I have two of these, a couple Mario and Yoshi plushies, the Hyperkin Superboy box, this monstrosity. This is how we used to play games, kids. It has the screen so that it's projected better. The headphones, these buttons are supposed to make things better. A sort of arcade-like joystick. You know, it's hideous, but beautiful at the same time. We also have two boxed Super Nintendo games. I'm not super into box stuff for whatever reason when it comes to cartridges. We have Super Castlevania 4 boxed and Mickey Mania complete in box. Both very awesome games. Of course, Super Castlevania 4 is a timeless classic, so super stoked to have those. Now, let's check out some Super Nintendo games. All right, so on the Super Nintendo, we got some good hitters here. Another copy of Castlevania 4, separate from the box copy. Castlevania, Dracula X, you know, one of my favorite games. We have Donkey Kong, Doom, F-Zero, Gradius 3, Killer Instinct, super awesome game. Moving on, we got some Mortal Kombat, NBA Hang Time, Primal Rage. Let's see what we got here. SimCity, I love this version of SimCity. I think it's really good. Got Spawn, Star Fox, got my Street Fighter, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter Alpha 2, some Super Mario World, of course, Super Mario Kart, Super R-Type, super cool game, and yeah, it's super. All right, so moving on, we've got Turtles 4. Everyone has to have this, one of the best games on the system. Super Street Fighter 2, Yoshi's Island, Wing Commander, Zoop. I really like Zoop. We've got some import games, actually, some Super Famicom games. ActRaiser, Donkey Kong Country 3, because it's cheaper that way. Rockman X, once again. I got a lot of these at Too Many Games. Samurai Spirits, which is a Samurai Showdown. Super Fire Pro Wrestling 2. I love the Fire Pro series. This is the best one. Super Fire Pro Wrestling X. You can get it for like $6, dude. You need to pick it up. Super Mario Kart. I don't know why I own that. I'm pretty sure I got it for pretty cheap though. And the final two, we've got, I believe this is Super Mario All-Stars. I could be wrong. And World Heroes, very cool fighting game. So now we've done the Super Nintendo, let's look at some N64 stuff, because everyone loves the N64 and its lack of N labels. Yay! I know I need to buy some N labels. Let's see what we got. 1080. Body Harvest, love that game. Bomberman. Bomberman Hero. Donkey Kong 64. D. Vern owns like 12 copies of that. Excite Bike. GoldenEye. Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine. I really don't want to show you guys all of these, man. Arboria, Jet Force Gemini, Ken Griffey Baseball. Of course, Majora's Mask. That's an essential. I actually don't have a gold copy of Ocarina of Time. I did when I was a kid, but yeah, a lot of these games aren't from when I was a kid. So, what we got here? Mission Impossible, super fun game. And going down, let's take a look at what we got here. More 64. NASCAR, gotta have some NASCAR, Bo. NBA Courtside, Perfect Dark. I think this is Rainbow Six. Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Snap. Just, you know, random games. Star Fox, Shadow Man, San Francisco Rush, some Star Wars games. The classic Super Mario 64. Everyone needs to own that. Oh, and I do have Mario Kart. Where's Mario Kart 64? Here it is. I don't want anyone saying anything stupid. Like, hey, you don't have Mario Kart. Of course I have Mario Kart. What do you think I am? And wrestling games. These are all wrestling games. I can tell you that right off the bat here, because they are towards the end and they all begin with W. Like I said, everything is alphabetized and categorized by system, as you will see with the GameCube stuff, because this is a little bit easier to talk about because I can see N labels. 007 All or Nothing, Chaos Field, really underrated shmup. Eternal Darkness, 007 F-Zero X, Geist. You guys know I love Geist. Super awesome game. Super cheap as well. Pick it up if you do not have it. Got some Wind Waker. Four Swords Adventure. I've never really played this game, and I really feel like I need to. And yeah, let's go down a row. All right, so you got Metal Gear Solid, essential game. Got some Mortal Kombat, a little Metroid Prime, Paper Mario. This game's actually pretty expensive. I picked it up for dirt cheap though, which is nice. Resident Evil, Second Sight. Love this game to death. If you've never played Second Sight, make sure you pick it up. There's a beast right there. I got that for dirt cheap at Too Many Games off of Zach's Everything channel. Shout outs to Zach's Everything channel. He'll give you everything. Now, one of the bigger selections I have of games are Wii games. And you might be saying, that's a lot of shovelware, but I beg to differ. So let's take a look at some Wii games. So on the Wii, we got some cool stuff here. Boy and His Blob, I really like that game. The Back to the Future game, which I think is super underrated. It's a Telltale game, but I do like it. A couple of Call of Duties. Centipede Infestation. This is a way forward game. Very good. I suggest you pick it up if you haven't. The Conduit, I was a huge fan of The Conduit growing up. We got Fortune Street, we got Ghostbusters, my favorite version of the Ghostbusters because it's very animated and it's a super cool game, super cheap as well. Let's see, got a little Kirby, got a little Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess, Indiana Jones games. I don't know why I have so many Indiana Jones games. You know what, this is a good game. Is this? No, it's a Lego one. Here it is. Staff Kings. It only takes you about, 5 or 6 hours to beat. But it's really fun. I really enjoyed this game, and if you've never played it, I suggest you pick it up because, like I said, it's pretty interesting, honestly. And we got some more Wii games down here. Let's get a little bit lower. All right, Manhunt 2, Mario Kart Wii, Metroid Other M. I don't care what anyone says about this game. I enjoyed it. I think it's super fun. Get back in your home. Maramasu the Demon Blade, New Super Mario Brothers. Here are three. Look at that. 3 games in a row that I feel are very underrated. Pandora's Tower. It's a super good game. Obscure the Aftermath, aka Obscure 2, an excellent survival horror game. And it's actually co-op as well, and Knights. If you play this game with a classic controller, it's so much fun, and it's so good. And it's a shame that, people just kind of poo-poo all over it, because I think it's a really good game, honestly. Finishing things out, got Resident Evil, the Archives Edition. I don't know why I own so many. I own the PS4, the Wii version, and the GameCube version. Moving along, we've got some other cool stuff here. A really good version of Silent Hill. I really enjoyed that game. Sin and Punishment. I'm seeing a game. This is not where it belongs. Mr. Rock Band, you go after Resident Evil 4, you piece of crap. Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, one of the best 2D fighters of recent times. If you've never played it, it's super crazy. One of my favorite games on the system right here. House of the Dead 2 and 3 Return. I'm a huge fan of the House of the Dead stuff. And the Wii was kind of perfect for these light gun games. So, of course, we have also Xenoblade. Gotta showcase that. And yeah, so now we're gonna move into Wii U stuff, which starts over here. Couple spotlights. Definitely want to spotlight Bayonetta 2. This is the original release that has Bayonetta 1 in it, because that was a day one purchase for me. And let's see, awesome, the best version of Batman Arkham Edition, of Arkham City, excuse me, better than the PS4 version. I don't care what anyone says, the gamepad use is amazing. So, and you can kind of see this stupid Tony Hawk board. I actually have another one in my car, I need to get it out. So let's look at some more Wii games, but first, let's see what's going on this other shelf. All right, so this shelf is kind of just a smorgasbord of random stuff. You've got Shovel Knight and little, what's his name, Chibi Robo amiibo, a big box Mario Party 10, Sabu, who is my favorite wrestler of all time. That's a figure of his. A couple amiibos here, Ryu, Gold Mario, Inkling Girl, little Fox action, a little Lil Mac action, and a little Mario action. So nothing big. I never really got into collecting amiibo, so nothing I really liked. This is a complete in box NES Classic Edition Game Boy Advance SP. One of my favorite things in my collection. I love this system. I just love the way it looks. I would like to get the screen modded so that I can have a proper backlight on it. A couple new 3DS XL boxes because, I don't know, I like to collect them. We have the limited edition of the Xenoblade Chronicles X. Lots of cool stuff in there. The Midna and Wolf Link amiibo that came in the Twilight Princess HD collection. And I guess that's technically it for this shelf, so let's get into the games. All right, so we got some more Wii U titles here. Captain Toad, Deus Ex. I love this version of Deus Ex. It's one of the best in my opinion. DuckTales Remastered, Hyrule Warriors, Donkey Kong Country, of course. Really underrated game right here. Lego City Undercover. I definitely suggest you pick this up because you never got a Grand Theft Auto on the Wii U, and that's pretty similar. Of course, Mario Party 10 and Mario Kart 8. Mighty Number 9. Yes, that's right. I'm one of those guys. I like the game, though. I think it's pretty fun. Need for Speed Most Wanted, which is the best version of the game. They use PC textures on it. Ninja Gaiden 3. Color Splash, really good game. Splatoon. Black Cell, 3D World, Mario Maker. Of course, got my Zeldas here. Xenoblade Chronicles X Standard Edition. That is right, folks. I have both of these. I have both the limited edition and the standard edition. I love that game. So let's move on. We got a couple Game Boy cases to look at and some DS titles. Sealed. I don't really do sealed games, but I'm never gonna play this. So I've kept it sealed because I've had it for quite a while. Metroid on the Game Boy, which was the NES Classics Edition or whatever they called it. Yeah, Classic NES series. This shelf's a little tight. Moving on to the DS, I have a lot of DS games, and there are a lot of games that I actually like. 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. We have Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, which is probably one of my top 3 Castlevania games. Chibi Robo, Park Patrol. I don't even think I've played that. Dementium 1 and 2, awesome games. You can get Dementium remastered on the 3DS currently right now. I think it's actually on sale. I mean, I don't know when you're watching this video, but here's another really good game. Nobody ever talks about it. Fighting Fantasy Warlock of Firetop Mountain. If you ever played a sort of older Elder Scrolls game, you will really like this game. Highly suggest you pick it up. And Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars, super amazing game. One of the only mature rated titles on the DS and one of my favorites. Now let's go down a row. So we got some stuff here, Harvest Moon, Kingdom Hearts, Mario Hoops 3-on-3, that's a really fun game. Nanostray, I was actually a top 10 player in this game when it first came out. I really enjoyed Nanostray, just a really solid shmup. We also have the sequel here. Orcs and Elves, I got really into the first-person dungeon crawler games after playing Fighting Fantasy that I showed you a little bit earlier. Here is a game, I sunk so much time into the online of this game. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. I really miss this game. God, this shelf is tight. We got some Resident Evil, Ridge Racer DS, which I think was a launch title, and I think that is actually my copy of the launch title. What else we got? Skate It, Shin Megami Tensei, just some, various stuff here. Remember when they did the Tecmo Bowl reboot? Tecmo Bowl Kickoff. And then we move into some 3DS stuff. So we've got Cave Story, which is actually worth a good bit of money if you have the holographic case, which I do have. A really underrated 2D Castlevania. It's definitely a throwback to the original 2D Castlevanias. I don't know why it got so much hate. A lot of these 3DS games, of course, I get through Nintendo Enthusiast. Kirby Planet Robobot being one of them. A lot of these games, actually. Hyrule Warriors Legends, Heroes of Ruin, Final Fantasy Explorers, the new Dragon Quest game. So, yeah, a lot of quality 3DS titles here. And moving down, Metal Gear Solid, Mario Kart, the basics. Federation Force, Burn It With Fire. Big Box Project X Zone, Resident Evil Revelations, one of the best looking 3DS games by far. Let's see what else we got here. Sega 3D Classics, I love that game. Spirit Camera, one of the most disappointing games ever. Star Fox 3D. This game is probably my most played game on the system. I have played this game so much, I love it to death. I bought it with my original 3DS on launch. Tekken 3D, there used to be so many good fighters. You had Tekken, I didn't show you guys Dead or Alive, but you've probably seen it. Smash Brothers, I just wish they would have made more, man. Got our Zeldas here, Link Between Worlds, and of course, the Ocarina of Time 3D Essentials, and Xenoblade Chronicles, and a couple Yokai Watches. Now, we're moving on to a system that I wasn't too familiar with until I got this right here, which is the Power Base Mini. It's on top of the other shelf, so you'll see it in a few. But, Altered Beast Choplifter, Double Dragon, best version of Double Dragon. Something way back here in the creases. What we got? Ghostbusters! Dun, 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 dun. So yeah, a solid but unspectacular Mega Drive collection. Genesis stuff, Aladdin, Batman Returns, Castlevania Bloodlines. Yes, this is an original copy I got for $13 at my local retro gaming store because I caught him slipping. And yeah, so let's go down to the next shelf, which is down below, and some more Genesis titles. All right, so we got some more Genesis titles down here. Desert Strike, I really enjoy that game. Earthworm Jim, complete in box. I already pulled this game out because it's a pain in the ass to get these loose cartridges out. Gunstar Heroes, that's an OG copy from 64-Bit for Life. That's not a shout out for him. Don't go check out his channel or anything. He's a little piece of crap, but he is a buddy of mine. Jewel Master, which I actually picked up on recommendation from the immortal John Hancock. Lost Vikings, some basic Jenny games here. Nothing too spectacular. Sonic games, of course, got all those. Shaq Fu Road Rash. This is a pretty interesting game right here. Subterranea. Definitely kind of weird, but I kind of dig it. It's not terrible. Not bad. And then moving down a row, we have some more Jenny games, and then we get into the Sega CD. Let's see here. Thunder Force, awesome game. WrestleMania the arcade game definitely trumps, no pun intended, the Super Nintendo version. Zero Tolerance, here's an amazing Genesis game. A first-person shooter with, you could hook up 2 systems together and play co-op. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. Such an amazing game. Technical marvel. Now, like I said, let us look at some Sega CD games. I have a lot of filler on the Sega CD, honestly, but I do have some good games here. We've got, this is a pretty solid game, if I can get it out. Battle Core, excuse me. It's made by Core Studios, who I believe helped out with Tomb Raider in its infancy. You've got Sylpheed here, Robo Eleste, I don't know how you say it. Sonic CD, Space Ace, Terminator. My favorite game on the system. Amazing game. It has some awesome Tommy Tallarico butt rock on it. Like, the soundtrack is just so freaking good, man. And yeah, awesome game. If you own a Sega CD, you definitely have to pick this up. And The Amazing Spider-Man actually isn't that bad either, which is right next to it. But yeah, that will do it for the Sega CD portion of the tour. Like I said, no real big hitters here, but, you know, solid titles nonetheless. Now let's look at the top of this other bookshelf and get into the final bookshelf. All right, so here we have the top of the final bookshelf. Well, final bookshelf for now, that is. We got a Light Phaser complete in box, the Retron 5 box, the aforementioned showcase Power Base Mini. Oh, look, it's back. I told you, I like Mighty No. 9. I bought the PS4 Collector's Edition as well, and I don't even buy Collector's Edition. Theme Park, this is a really cool gift from, oh God, what is his channel name? I don't recall his channel name. I'm gonna put a link to it on the screen right now though. He sent me this, and it is the Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris Gold Edition, which was only released in PAL region. So super cool, still got that sealed. A complete in-box Game Gear Game Genie, an OUA controller because I have one. This system sucks, but this one's not bad. I don't hate all the AT game stuff like people think I do. I think they do good work on ColecoVision, Atari games, just Genesis sucks for them. And the Smash Brothers soundtrack, Junkyard Dog, Hulk Hogan missing a leg, and Nikolai Volkov. Gotta have Nikolai Volkov. And now, let us get into some more games. All right, so keeping with the Sega theme, we've got Doom, we've got, I'm not even gonna talk about that, Star Wars Arcade, which I love, Tempo, which actually isn't a bad game, Virtual Racing Deluxe, and my baby Virtual Fighter, still sealed. I don't know why it's still sealed. I'll open it one day. Ooh, we got price stickers on these? I didn't pay $18 for it. I bought this too many games and I talked them down. So I got Popeye. Ugh, I messed that up. Whatever. So yeah, we got some Sega Saturn stuff to go over. I would love for my Sega Saturn collection to be bigger, but let's be realistic here. It is super expensive to collect for. But we've got Alien Trilogy, Command & Conquer, both Daytona USA's, Die Hard Arcade. Complete. Love this game to death. Die Hard Trilogy, Legend of Oasis, loose disc unfortunately, but shout outs to Rhino Video Games. GameStop bought these guys out, and it's a damn shame because they had both new and old stuff. Manix TT, I really like that game. Big Box Knights, you know, I'm a big Knights fan. Sonic R, Space Jam, little 2D fighting action, you know the 2D stuff on the Saturn was mint. Need for Speed, Virtual Fighter X. Here's actually something rare I didn't know existed until I got it. Big Box Virtual Fighter Remix, and it's actually a purple disc, which Casey the Game Nerd, shout out to Casey the Game Nerd, told me this is the rarest variant of it. So that's kind of cool, I guess. You know, I just wanted the game because I'm a Virtual Fighter fan, and it sucks that I had to put Remix after 2 because it has a thing on the end and it pisses me off. But we got a couple Dreamcast games here. Bleemcast for Metal Gear Solid, very cool. And let us go down a row and look at some more Dreamcast stuff. All right, so nothing too crazy in the Dreamcast realm. I do have a couple rarer games though. D2, which is a pretty rare game to get complete. Blue Stinger, it's a really fun game. Dino Crisis, the best version of Dino Crisis. Dynamite Cop, Grandia 2, Marvel vs. Capcom, Resident Evil 2, Code Veronica. I really got into collecting the Capcom Resident Evil remaster sort of stuff, you know, with the improved graphics. Shenmue, Slave Zero, Sonic Adventure. Like I said, nothing too crazy, but I mean, it's a solid Dreamcast collection. And honestly, the rest of my collection isn't that impressive. I do have some good games in here though, so I do want to show you them pretty briefly. Gotta have Castlevania Symphony of the Night Complete Black Label, Mega Man 8, King's Field. Supposedly this game is worth like $100 and I don't want it. So if anyone wants a copy of King's Field, hit up the Facebook page. We got some stuff over here. I bought these random PS2 games in a lot. Nothing really great. I will show you this because I love this game. And I will show you this because I love this game. But yeah, everything else is just kind of, you know, no big deal. Moving on, we've got some more PS2 games down here. Voila! Metal Gear Complete Collection, basketball. No One Lives Forever. That's a super cool game. Really underrated. Another copy of Code Veronica X. Shadow Man 2. I like the Shadow Man series. I think it's pretty underrated. This is actually a pretty fun game. Sopranos. Don't ask me why. Oh, I also have State of Emergency, but that's out in the living room. I'll show you guys the living room towards the end of this video. We have some PAL only releases. That's kind of neat. The PS3 collection sucks. Beyond Two Souls, Remember Me, Shadows of the Damned, Skyrim, Turning Point, Fall of Liberty. This is one of the worst games ever, but for some reason I own it. Got a couple PS4 games, Doom, 2K16, Phantom Pain, and there's a couple more down here that I'll show you guys. And like that. We've got Shadow Complex, which I love to death, Until Dawn, and WWE 2K16. Like 5 original Xbox games. I actually have some more coming in though. So 2017, I'll have more to show you guys. Here's an essential, Shenmue 2. Amazing game. I used to have the Dreamcast one. It was the PAL version too. Moving on, we have one PSP game. We got some 3DO games. My favorite, the only reason I own the stupid system is of course this, which doesn't have a front case on it, but it has a back case because I don't have a manual for it. Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Super awesome game. Moving on, random Atari and 7200 games. Nothing really, you know, super worth talking about, but I do want to show you guys some Jag games. I am getting into the Jaguar more recently. I've actually got some more stuff coming in. I've got some of the essentials, I feel. Well, if they'll come out. Alien vs. Predator. You gotta have Alien vs. Predator if you have a Jag. I believe this is Tempest 2000. A fan of the show sent me this. Thank you so much, dude. This is one of the best games on the Jaguar. So addicting. We got Iron Soldier. I know I got that somewhere. Raiden, the Poop Stain or Coffee Stain. And finally, we got some homebrews down here, as you guys can see. Get a little better look at it. Definitely one of the crown jewels of my collection. Love this, love this, love this. The Game Boy Color version of Resident Evil. The Incident, which is a cool homebrew game. Haunted Halloween 85. Haunted Halloween 86 looks awesome. I can't wait to review that. Basic Championship Wrestling. 8-Bit Xmas 2014. Sweet Home and Quadrolords, which came with my retro USB AVS. Now, I guess I will show you the TVs and the other stuff in the game room. Let's take a look at some wrestling figures. We got a original Hulk Hogan, like a Canadian or a French Bret the Hitman Hart, which is kind of weird. Monty Brown, I was a really big fan of him. Chris Sabin, that's autographed. I met him. The Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels, also autographed. Amazing. Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner, also autographed. I met all these guys. And my favorite figure, Sabu, autographed. Gotta love it, baby. Being the master bedroom, I also have a bathroom in here. That's kind of cool. So here we have the HD TV, PSP Go in there. Various stuff in here. I'm not even gonna get into it. Just a lot of loose discs, various handhelds, Game Boys, Game Gear, stuff like that. I just store them in there because I don't really have a better way to do it right now, even though I would really like to. If you have any suggestions on how to store those systems, that'd be great. We got the Retron, we got the AVS, and then we have the monster. Dun dun dun. So this is the Wega Titantron, essential if you were playing retro games. I love it to death. You can see I got a couple consoles out down here. I've been playing some Jag and Zool 2, and we have the Dreamcast locked and loaded. And we also have a few cool prints on the wall. If you saw my latest pickup video at the time of this video, you would have seen these. We've got a Castlevania, Double Dragon, Nintendo World Championships, and Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! And I guess you guys have seen my game room. Give you guys a quick glimpse of the living room before we wrap things up. We've got the PS3 fully backwards compatible, the PS4 and the Wii U, and of course the big screen television, so that we can see all these games in beautiful, beautiful HD. And that's gonna do it for the Game Room Tour 2016. Hope you guys enjoy this. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing what I got in my collection. I'm always adding more stuff. You know, it's pretty much a daily thing now. So let me know what you think about my game room in the comments section down below. Be sure to like this video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I have tons of other great videos. You're gonna see some links to them there on the screen. You can also click my icon to easily subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for checking out this video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Later.